Have you been sleeping poorly? Do you wake up several times at night, feel tired in the morning, without energy, without desire, and with a shaken mood? Maybe what's happening to you isn't just age stuff. It could be your testosterone falling silent, and it all starts with sleep. Science has proven little sleep drastically reduces natural testosterone production, even after the age of 60. And with that comes fatigue, loss of libido, muscle weakness, and even sadness for no reason. But the good news is that you can reverse this naturally, with simple habits that restore your sleep, your energy, and your masculine identity. In this video, you'll understand how sleep directly affects your hormones, what to do to regain your testosterone without artificial replacements, and why the key to your vitality may be in your pillow. Watch until the end, because aging healthily is not luck, it is routine. And this routine starts with a good night's sleep. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on health, vitality, and longevity after 60, with real, exciting, and life-changing explanations. When Mr. João arrived at the office for the routine consultation, what bothered him most was not physical pain, but constant tiredness, as if his body had forgotten what it was like to feel alive. He was 68 years old, walked every day, ate relatively well, but for months he had felt erased. He woke up without energy, his mood varied like autumn clouds, and something else made him uncomfortable. His libido had disappeared. It was not a lack of desire to love his wife. It was as if something inside him had been turned off. After a few tests, it became clear. Her testosterone levels were below ideal for her age. But the biggest surprise came when the doctor asked him something seemingly simple. "How's your sleep, John?" John smiled, not understanding the connection. "I sleep badly, doctor." "But that's age, right?" The truth is that it is not. And this is the great turning point of this story. Sleep isn't just a rest for the body, it's one of the most powerful biological pillars that regulate our hormones. Especially in the case of testosterone, the hormone that, even in the elderly, remains essential for mood, muscle strength, disposition, libido, and even memory. Serious studies published by institutions such as the University of Chicago have shown that men who sleep less than 5 to 6 hours a night have a drop of up to 15% in natural testosterone production in less than a week. To give you an idea, this drop can be equivalent to almost a decade of hormonal aging. But why does this happen? During deep sleep, especially between midnight and 5 a.m., the body enters a phase called REM sleep and slow-wave deep sleep, which are the times when there is the greatest natural peak of testosterone release. If you wake up many times at night, sleep late, or have fragmented sleep, the body does not reach this cycle with intensity, and hormones are no longer produced as they should. What's more, little sleep activates cortisol, known as the stress hormone. And high cortisol fights with testosterone, making its production and action in the body even more difficult. Now imagine this cycle. You sleep poorly, your testosterone drops. You feel more tired, irritable, without libido. This affects your sleep. The cycle starts again. This is the so-called vicious circle of hormonal fatigue. And unfortunately, many elderly men live in it without even knowing it. But the most important thing is, there is a way out. By improving sleep quality, many men are naturally able to recover a significant part of their testosterone without having to immediately resort to artificial replacements. And that starts with simple steps, which may seem small, but have a profound impact on biology. The first of them is to understand the time of hormonal release. The human body, even with age, remains synchronized with daylight. Melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, needs to be released naturally at the end of the day so that the body enters the right phase of deep rest. But for this to happen, it is necessary to avoid white and blue lights at least an hour before bedtime, such as television, cell phone, computer. Yes, that little glance at your phone before bed may be sabotaging your sleep, and with it, your testosterone. Another important step is the temperature of the environment. Sleeping in a darker, cooler room helps the brain get into the right sleep phases faster. Studies show that temperatures between 18 and 21 degrees are ideal for melatonin production and for deeper sleep cycles. But perhaps the most forgotten part is the breath. Many men over the age of 60 develop sleep apnea, short pauses in breathing during the night that prevent the brain from reaching the deep stage. And the most worrying? Most don't know they have it. Waking up with a feeling of suffocation, snoring loudly, being sleepy during the day, morning headache or dry mouth when waking up are clear signs. If you experience any of these symptoms, see a doctor and have your sleep checked. In many cases, just the treatment of apnea is enough to normalize testosterone production and restore the vitality that seemed lost. Mr. João's story did not end there. After he began following those guidelines, reducing light at night, sleeping in a dark room, avoiding screens, adjusting his bedtime and treating a mild case of apnea, he returned to the office in 3 months with a different twinkle in his eyes. His exams showed improvement, but the best result wasn't on paper. It was in the way he spoke of his wife. "Doctor, I think I'm back to being the man she knew." Mr. João's case is more common than you might think, and it doesn't just happen to men. In women, especially after menopause, lack of sleep also directly interferes with hormone regulation. But in the mature man, testosterone plays an even more sensitive role when sleep is impaired. Often, the problem starts almost imperceptibly. The elderly person starts sleeping later because they feel less sleepy, wake up several times to go to the bathroom, feel hot, or simply have racing thoughts before bedtime. The result? Sleep ceases to fulfill its biological function, and the body enters a state of prolonged wakefulness. This generates microstress, which affects not only testosterone, but also the immune system, metabolism, and mood. Science has already confirmed that men with chronic sleep deprivation have a drop in bone density, reduced muscle mass, greater accumulation of abdominal fat, and a higher risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. All of this is related to the drop in testosterone, often caused only by poor sleep quality. But here's the good news. The body, even over 60 or 70 years old, has an impressive capacity for regeneration when it finds the right conditions. And one of the first signs of testosterone recovery after improved sleep is the return of vital energy in the morning. That feeling of getting out of bed with the desire to live. It sounds simple, but for many men, it's like stepping back in time. Therefore, in addition to the tips already mentioned in the previous block, there are more complete strategies that can further enhance this natural process. Let's explore some of them now. 1. Create a fixed ritual before bed. The brain associates repetition with safety. If you adopt a set of habits every night, such as drinking warm tea, reading a quiet book, taking a warm bath, and turning off the lights at the same time, your body begins to understand that it's time to switch off. This simple ritual can reduce cortisol levels and facilitate the production of melatonin, favoring the nocturnal hormonal cycle. 2. Include foods that favor sleep and testosterone. Fruits, such as bananas, avocados, and cherries, are rich in tryptophan and natural melatonin. Foods such as eggs, pumpkin seeds, nuts, and olive oil provide good fats and micronutrients such as zinc and magnesium, essential for testosterone production. Avoid sugar and ultra-processed foods at night, as they cause glucose and insulin spikes that disrupt sleep. 3. Take daytime walks. Exposure to sunlight in the morning, even for 20 to 30 minutes, helps regulate the biological clock, known as the circadian cycle. This contact with natural light adjusts the internal clock, favoring the production of testosterone in the morning and the natural onset of sleep at night. 4. Gradually reduce naps during the day. Many elderly people take long naps in the afternoon, which impairs deep sleep at night. The ideal is to keep naps short, of a maximum of 30 minutes before 15 o'clock. This keeps sleep pressure adequate for the night and prevents interference with hormonal cycles. 5. Naturally evaluate your evolution. You don't need expensive tests every month. Pay attention to the body's signals: sexual appetite, a more stable mood, increased disposition, improved reasoning, ease of getting up in the morning. All are indications that your hormone levels are returning to balance. And if even with all these changes the symptoms persist, then it's time to talk to a professional specializing in hormonal health to assess the need, or not, for replacement therapy. But never before trying the natural ways. The most powerful hormone in the body is not in a bottle. He is in the hours of good sleep. And what many call old age is often just a tired body asking for real rest. Testosterone isn't just the hormone of sexuality. It's the hormone of male identity. It is what defines the tone of the voice, the volume of the muscles, the intensity of the thoughts, and the emotional firmness. Losing testosterone isn't just a matter of libido. It's losing vitality. But to recover it, it is to recover oneself. And the first step to this for most men is on the pillow. It is not uncommon to find men over 60 who say phrases like, "Oh, that's age. Being without desire is normal after being old. I got used to the tiredness." But getting used to fatigue is not accepting aging. It is surrendering to an imbalance that can and must be fought. The truth is that aging doesn't have to mean putting out the fire within, and testosterone is one of the most important fuels of that fire. When a man sleeps well, he produces testosterone more efficiently. When this production is balanced, he feels more like living. And living, at this stage of life, is not just being here. It is participating, getting emotional, laughing out loud, loving, moving with confidence. The good news is that, contrary to what many think, the male body has the ability to respond to natural stimuli even in old age. The problem is that few men receive this information. A study by the National Sleep Foundation in the United States showed that men over the age of 60 who maintained an average of 7 to 8 hours of deep sleep had up to 30% more testosterone levels than those who slept less than 5 hours. The difference between the two groups was not in the medications, but in the routine. More importantly, these same men had fewer symptoms of depression, more sexual appetite, greater muscle strength, and better memory. All these benefits start from the same balance point: restorative sleep. Instead of looking for quick fixes or miracle supplements, you need to go back to basics. Sleeping better is the first and safest step to reconnect with your own body. And this can be done at any age. Here's a real example. A group of men over 65 years old at a health center in southern Brazil participated in a sleep and natural health program. They learned to create nighttime routines, improve their diet, take daytime walks, and avoid artificial light at night. Result? After 3 months, 80% of the participants reported improvement in mood, sexual performance, and sleep quality. None of them used hormone replacement. The secret was to respect the body's rhythm, something that modern medicine is beginning to rediscover. But beware, each body is unique. Therefore, it is essential to observe your own signs, keep your exams up to date, and always seek professional follow-up. Hormonal health isn't about aesthetics or vanity. It's about autonomy, well-being, and dignity. If you're reading this and you've been feeling tired, discouraged, low energy, changes in mood and libido, don't accept this as an inevitable part of age. It may just be your body asking for true rest. It could be testosterone trying to tell you that there's still strength in there. It just needs to be awakened in the right way. Sleep well. Take care. Listen to what your body is trying to show you. Because aging healthily isn't a matter of luck. It's a choice. And this choice begins every day at bedtime. Comment. Have you been sleeping well? Have you ever felt that tiredness has changed your mood or desire? Share it with someone who is feeling the energy fade. And maybe you just need to sleep better to get back to living with intensity.